It's Kalia Monique. My first name's Kalia. My middle name's Monique. It's Kalia Monique. Today I will be reviewing all of my 2023 reads with as few words as possible. So, let me tell you how I got this idea. First, it was definitely Instagram Reels and, like the TikTok trend of reviewing a book without saying anything. But that video, I felt like that video would, one, be boring, and two, be annoying. But also, when I was thinking about doing this, Janine from The Story Ain't Over actually posted her 2023 reviews in as few words as possible. And I was like, ooh, I'll do that. So understand, it's going to be very similar to both of those. Some of these books, I might not have words for. But let it be. Some of the books, I may actually have some things to say, but the challenge that I am presenting myself is to review them in as little words as possible. So, let's hurry up and get into it. Storygraph, I swear on everything. I swear on everything. If you're down again, I'm gonna be mad. When I originally was trying to do this video, it was the day the Storygraph was doing maintenance because of all the people who downloaded it. And I was just like, really? Really? First up, just some stats from 2023. I read 40 books. My goal was 50. After my goal was 75, I then brought it down to 50. And then when I read 40 books, I was like, that's enough. Also, if there is ever lipstick in my teeth, just let it be. So I read 40 books. I also read 14,594 pages. The goal for that was 15,000 pages. So I was really close. Again, after 40 books, I was like, that's enough. My mood wheel is mostly emotional, fits lighthearted and adventurous, with a sprinkle of funny, dark, reflective, hopeful, mysterious, tense, sad, informative. That's such a small line. Inspiring was even smaller, and challenging was even smaller than that. I told y'all in the last video, it was a head empty, I'm just here for vibes type of year, okay? Next up, pacing wise, I read 5% slow, 31% fast-paced books, and the majority of my reads were medium paced. That's about right. When it comes to page numbers, 18% of my reads were 500 plus pages, 38% of my reads were less than 300 pages, and 45% of my reads, is that the right math? Yep. How? Not my business. 45% of my reads were between 300 and 499 pages. Can you tell I'm not wearing my glasses? 10% of the books I read were nonfiction, and the remaining 90% of my reads were fiction. Head empty. Genres. I read romance this year. That's basically it. Fantasy, this has to be the largest gap between fantasy and romance I have had in a long while. Yeah, my next top 3 genres were romance, fantasy, and contemporary. And then it's just an assortment of a bunch of different things. But yeah, I'm a solid. My faves are my faves. I have not gone anywhere past that, really. Format-wise, 18% of my reads were audiobooks, 30% of my reads were ebooks, and 53% of my reads were print. Now, when it comes to format, those stats are probably a little bit off, not by too much, but maybe a little bit off because sometimes I do alternate between formats. So reading with an audiobook or switching between a physical book and my Kindle. And I would just pick what I felt in the moment I read the majority, or I just didn't feel like differentiating between them. So it's probably mainly accurate, but there's probably some that aren't exactly right. My chart of the reading months, I didn't read at all in February. Read a little bit in March. And then it just kind of goes up at the end of the year because I actually felt like reading. So that's a fun little graph there. Overall, my average rating for my 2023 reads was 3.94. It's on the higher side. Definitely want that to go up this year. If we can break 4 stars, because I'm always in a 3 point something, I would really like to break that 4-star area. Because I am DNFing if I'm not enjoying a book, but I haven't come across any of that. I need to be more willing to DNF books that are just okay. Like, I'll be fine reading them, and then it'll get to reading them, and I'm like, it was okay read. But y'all will see some of that. My first read of 2023 was Queen of Myth and Monsters by Scarlett St. Clair. The second book of Adrian and Isolde's love story presented us with so many stories beyond their own, all fascinating, and had me entranced from the very beginning to the end. The emotions. I think I did it. The 5th season by N.K. Jemisin. That book is that bitch. Ooh. Oh, the plot twist. Oh my God. Acorn Cove by Kay O'Neill was so adorable. And I love everything that author writes. It's a hug. It's just a hug. Midnight Kisses by Janine Benedict was great while I read it. Had a fun time the entire time, but honestly is quite forgettable. Did not know I read that this year. Next up, I read True Beauty Volume 1 to encourage me to watch the K-drama. It didn't do that, but I'm excited for the next volume. Princess Ever After is another Kay O'Neill book and another hug. I just, oh gosh. You Made a Fool of Death with Your Beauty by Kweke Emeze has become the scale in which my sisters and I rate books of at least it's not that. I'm sorry. The Witchery by S. Isabel was a great read that I think young readers would enjoy. However, it didn't leave me wanting to pick up the next book. The House on the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune surprised me on so many fronts, and I am so happy I picked it up. Oh my God. They're so cute. I love them all. I love them all. Lovely War by Julie Berry might have been the book for the year, okay? Oh my God, it's so perfect. Monstrous Volume 1 Awakening by Marjorie Liu took about 2 years for me to finish reading, and will probably take just as long for me to pick up the next volume, if I ever do. The Davenports by Crystal Marquise is that girl. Quite literally is that girl. You see the cover. Black excellence at its peak. Fair by Prince Harry was nowhere near as bad as everyone was saying it was, although it wasn't in any top 5 of the best memoirs I've ever read. Dreamin' Sun by Ichigo Takano was the most whiniest, annoyingest main characters I have ever had the displeasure of being in the mind of. The Blood Gift by Annie Davenport was by far my most disappointing read of 2023. Expectations here, outcome down here. His Majesty by Sean was a nice novella that got me exactly where I needed to be, and it's definitely an author I will look into further down the line. A Worthy Love by A.E. Valdez. That's a new auto by author right there. Ooh, that's how love should be. God, I love this book. Crying in H Mart by Michelle Zauner was an amazing memoir that brought tears to my eyes and allowed me a cathartic opportunity to experience my grief. The Black Queen by Jamada Emil was everything I needed it to be. Jamada, you did that. Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan. Ooh, that love story right there. I can't even, there's no words. It's just so good. Everything everyone has ever said about this book is true. It is that girl. And if they say it's not, they lying. How the One Armed Sister Sweeps Her House by Sherry Jones broke me down. I would never recommend to anyone. Go in knowing the content warnings at your own discretion. The Serpent and the Wings of Night, The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King, and Six Scorched Roses, all by Carissa Broadbent, clearly had me hooked. could not put down the book, and I wish that the series was longer. The Goal by Elle Kennedy was the final love story of the Off-Campus series, and one of, if not my favorite. The Legacy was the conclusion that we all needed. A Warm Hug. Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. I'm one of them girls. I'm one of them girlies. Like, okay. I want more dragons, please. Page Boy by Elliot Page was an incredible memoir that I enjoyed from beginning to end. House of Hunger by Alexis Henderson. One word. Atmosphere. Oh my god, this book. Love That Story. Observations from a Gorgeously Queer Life by Jonathan Van Ness was probably my favorite memoir from the year. I love this author's voice, and anytime they write a memoir, I will always be there to read it. The Grand Effect by Elle Kennedy has the same feel to it as the Off-Campus series, so if you thoroughly enjoyed that series, you'll probably love this one as well. Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros was better than the first book in my opinion, and I won't hear otherwise. I would be Delulu. Let me be Delulu, okay? Only for the Week by Natasha Bishop. I want more than a week. Can we get more than a week, please? The Fine Print by Lauren Asher was meh at best. Terms and Conditions by Lauren Asher, however, I want a love like that. Give me my soft black girl era. Okay, that was, yes. Thank you. Lore Olympus Volume 4 is Lore Olympus in general is a story I will continue to come to for my coziness and just great graphic novel reads. Love, love, love these volumes. Speaking of which, my next read was Volume 5 of Lore Olympus. Both are by Rachel Smith. Final Offer by Lauren Asher. The third book in the standalone trilogy was such a good read. It was the largest book, but it didn't even feel like it. Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute by Talia Hibbert was exactly that. A title that tells you everything you need to know about this book. So dang cute. And for my final read of 2023, Heartstopper Volume 5 by Alice Oseman, I found that my love for the graphic novels, love for the Netflix series, as everything continues in tandem is a really amazing experience, and I highly recommend watching the Netflix series and reading these volumes as they are coming out, because somehow the Netflix series is adding on to the graphic novels are adding on to the Netflix series experience. I love this. And yes, those are all my reads for 2023. And let me know if any of these recommendations actually leads you to picking up the book. That would be quite funny. If you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed my face, my voice, my actionness, go ahead and press that like button down below and press the subscribe button and bell notification if you'd like to be notified when I upload. If you would like to stay connected with me, as I would love to stay connected with you, I of course will have all my social medias linked down below. What was your top read of 2023? And leave a star emoji down below. Now I believe that is everything, although I am probably forgetting something because I always forget something. But bye guys.